Sometimes the heart waits years to speak. Tonight, in a quiet restaurant, Keanu Reeves sits with steady hands and gentle eyes. Rain taps the window like a soft reminder. Across from him, Sandra Bullock arrives, calm and bright. This is a story about courage, timing, and honest love at last. If this gentle love story comforts you, please like, subscribe, and share. Stay with me to the very end today. Imagine a doctor who speaks softly before giving hard news. That is the voice I will use with you today. We will walk gently, no rush, no noise. Only two people, and the truth they were afraid to say out loud. In the quiet restaurant, Keanu waits. The rain is kind. The candles are small and warm. His hands rest on the wood. He breathes in, then out, like a patient learning to trust their own chest. Sandra arrives with a smile that always eases storms. She sits, careful and caring, and asks if he is tired. He looks at her with steady love. "This is not about work," he says. He sounds sure, but his fingers tremble. "It is about us, about the moment we let pass long ago." She listens. That is her best gift. The room feels safer because she listens well. He tells her that time did not erase his feeling. It only pressed it down like snow on a seed. The seed lived. It waited for spring. Tonight he lets it see the light. Sandra's eyes shine in the candlelight. She worries about the cost. She cares for their peace, their friendship, the easy way they move through crowded rooms. But love that hides becomes pain. She knows it. He knows it. They both sit with the truth, quiet as rain on glass. I want you to notice this. Honesty is often a soft sound, not a shout. It does not push. It opens a door and waits. That night they do not promise the future. They promise realness. It is enough for a beginning. Like a careful checkup after a hard week, they meet again. Sandra invites Keanu to read a script she is shaping. The story inside the pages mirrors their own. Two people miss the timing, then slowly try again. He reads, and every line feels like a hand on an old bruise that is healing. He looks up. "This is beautiful," he says, and he means both the script and the courage it took to share it. They talk about art, work, and the weight of being seen. They talk about the comfort that lives in simple things, walking after the premiere, laughing over coffee, calling when the night is heavy. They do not rush to a label. They practice the gentle skills that keep a heart well, listening, telling the truth, giving space. Like a good clinic, they make a plan that is kind and clear. Go slowly, stay honest. Protect the peace. At a quiet gallery, they stand beside a photo of a child laughing in the rain. The image teaches them something. Joy can sit inside a storm. Sandra admits she still feels fear. Crowds can be sharp. Cameras can be loud. Keanu answers with calm, "They can speak, but we know what is real." He does not argue. He reassures. He becomes what she can lean on, the way a steady hand guides a patient to take a first step after falling. They share a first kiss that is not loud. It is the sound of two careful people telling each other, "I am here." Health has enemies. Love does too. The next morning, the world gets busy. Photos appear. Headlines build a story that does not match their private truth. Phones ring. Opinions flood. This is how pressure works. It makes breathing feel harder, even when nothing inside is broken. Sandra feels the old fear return. She wants to protect what is gentle and small. Keanu calls with a voice like a warm blanket. "Let them talk," he says. "We will live the truth." But rumors grow like weeds. Someone writes that Keanu is secretly engaged to a woman from a charity event. It is false, but lies move faster than proof. Sandra's chest tightens. Doubt taps like a woodpecker on a quiet tree. He comes to her door with the newspaper folded, not angry, only steady. "It is not true," he says. "I know," she answers, but her voice carries the weight of years when trust was broken by others. A manager suggests a public note. They want silence, but they choose clarity. They write together, a short message asking for kindness and space, ending with, "Love doesn't need noise to exist." Support arrives. So does cruelty. That is life online, a waiting room where some people heal you and some people hurt you. They choose to keep walking, one step, then another. That is how healing beats noise. Real life does not ask permission. Sandra's mother becomes ill. She flies home to hold a hand that once held hers. Keanu offers to go. She says, "You have work. I will be fine." He respects her wish and stays close by phone. He sends simple messages that feel like warm tea. Thinking of you. Eat something. You are not alone. She answers when she can. He knows how to wait without making his waiting heavy for her. This is love as care, not as demand. Then the phone rings for Sandra with a new fear. Keanu has been in a car accident in the hills. He is stable but bruised. She buys a ticket and whispers a prayer to the window of the plane. At the hospital, the room smells like medicine and hope. He opens his eyes, sees her, and smiles. "You came," he says. "Of course," she answers. "You do not get to scare me like that." They both laugh the quiet laugh people make after pain moves past. She takes his hand. The monitor beeps a calm rhythm, like two hearts learning to trust again. Here is something I have learned as a doctor. When we almost lose someone, the mind stops making lists and starts telling the truth. Sandra tells him, with tears she does not hide, "I love you. I always did. I was just afraid." He breathes out the longest breath of his life. "Say it again," he whispers. She does. The room rests. Keanu heals, slowly but surely. Sandra brings soup, stories, and sunlight. Healing is not a race. It is a gentle routine. One morning they leave the hospital together. Cameras flash. Questions fly like birds startled from a tree. He does not run. He takes her hand where everyone can see and says, "Yes, we are together. I am grateful for her every day." His voice is calm, not loud, as if he is simply telling the truth to a friend. Sandra looks at him with surprise and pride. Honesty can be a shield when used with care. They go home to quiet. They cook simple food. They sit on the porch at dusk and count slow breaths. They speak of small joys and big hopes. They avoid red carpets. They choose the softer path, morning coffee, evening walks, letters left on the table. She says, "For the first time in years, I do not feel like I must pretend." He says, "That is because you are safe." They make a promise that is realistic and strong. Not perfection, but honesty. The heart can live with trouble. It cannot live with lies. A call comes from a studio in Paris, a 6-month shoot. It is a rare chance. Work can be a calling, not an enemy. She worries about leaving. He answers like a steady pulse. "Do it. Do not call it leaving. Call it living. I will be here." It is simple and brave. They practice daily care across miles. Phone calls at night. Notes that arrive by mail and smell like their kitchen. Little photos of an ordinary day. A bike leaned by the door, a book on the chair, a sky at evening. The world sees her shine on screen. Keanu sees the person behind the light. Here is a kind truth. Waiting is not empty when it is chosen with love. It becomes a garden. They water it with trust. When the shoot ends, Sandra returns without a big plan. She just appears at his porch at dusk. He is holding tea. He looks up and smiles, the soft smile of a man who never left the door of his heart. "You are back," he says. "I told you I would come home," she answers. They hold each other for a long time. The porch light hums like a low note of peace. No speech, no stage. Just two people doing the brave work of staying kind. Weeks become months. They find a rhythm that is kind to tired days and generous to bright ones. Breakfast is simple. Toast, fruit, laughter that does not try too hard. He jokes that he fights his dreams at night but wins when she appears in them. She laughs and tells him to rest more. They say yes to a charity event and no to 3 loud parties. They learn that joy grows best in quiet soil. They make tiny traditions. Friday letters left on the counter even when they sleep under the same roof. Sunday walks by the ocean where the wind combs the water flat. A rule for arguments: sit, hold hands, and speak slowly. No shouting. No leaving the room. If the hurt is big, they give it a smaller name so they can carry it together. They do not try to be perfect. They try to be present. One evening, while the hills turn purple, Sandra says, "Sometimes I still fear losing this." Keanu answers, "Then let us make a promise to face fear together. Not perfectly, but truthfully." They write the promise on a paper and keep it in a drawer. It is not a contract. It is a compass. Morning brings coffee and a phone call. A director offers Sandra the lead in a bold film that needs travel again. 6 months is a long time, but they have learned this path. She looks worried. He squeezes her hand. "Our love is not a glass thing," he says. "It bends. It does not break." They plan like adults who care for each other's dreams. They agree to weekly long calls, daily short notes, and one visit each month if schedules allow. They laugh at the plan because life will bend it anyway. Still, plans help the heart feel held. The months pass. Critics praise her work. He does not count the days. He fills them with useful good, reading at schools, visiting a hospital wing, fixing a neighbor's fence, writing her letters that begin, "Today was ordinary, and I am grateful." She replies with photos of Paris blue sky and tiny coffees on a tiny table. She says, "I miss you," the way a person says, "I am walking home." When she returns, she surprises him again. He is on the porch with tea because some scenes deserve repeats. They hold each other and laugh like people who have learned how to keep the door open against the wind. He asks, "Did you ever doubt?" She says, "Not once." Then she adds, with a smile, "Okay, maybe once, on a very tired night." He nods. "Thank you for saying the true thing." Truth is a habit they choose again and again. The rain that started their new beginning returns at last. It taps the roof while they sit by the window. They remember the first confession, the gallery, the headlines, the hospital, the porch, the airport, the letters, the tea. They do not tell the story to make it dramatic. They tell it to learn from it. They list the gentle rules that kept them whole. Speak early, before fear grows teeth. Listen fully, the way Sandra did in that first room. Hold a hand when words are not enough. Tell the truth in daylight, like Keanu did outside the hospital. Protect privacy, but do not worship it. Choose quiet routines over loud displays. Allow distance when calling is strong. Return without speeches. Treat hope like medicine, steady dose, same time with water. If you are listening and your heart is older, please hear this. Late love is not second best. It is careful. It knows what matters. It wastes less time. It keeps soft things safe. They watch the sky turn from gray to clear. Sandra takes a breath. "If I could change the past, I am not sure I would," she says. He looks at her with that calm that has saved them again and again. "Not even the pain?" he asks, gentle as a hand on a shoulder. She thinks. "The pain taught me to choose. The pain taught me to stay." He nods. "Then we thank it and we live." They stand, make tea, and open the door. The city is waking. Somewhere, a reporter is writing a story that will never know the true shape of this home. That is fine. What is true does not need a crowd. It needs two people willing to treat love like good care. Daily, simple, honest, and brave. They step into the day with the same promise they made in that first quiet room. Not perfection, but realness. The rain slows to a stop and the street shines. It looks like a clean page. They begin again together. Before we close, let me speak to you the way a trusted doctor might speak to family. If your heart is older, do not call it late. Call it ready. If you have waited to tell the truth, start with one clear sentence. If the world grows noisy, make your home quiet. Take walks. Share tea. Write letters. Keep a small promise every day. When fear arrives, name it out loud so it shrinks. When distance comes, remember that love can travel without tickets. And if pain visits, ask it what it wants you to learn, then thank it when it leaves. And when the rain stops, step outside together, breathe deeply, and begin again with simple, steady, brave hearts.